I'm General Glenn Walters, United States Marine Corps retired, and I serve as the president of the Citadel. Congratulations on your receiving acceptance to my alma mater. Our mighty Citadel is a special place. We demand hard work and selflessness and a desire to join others equally committed to becoming principal leaders. Our graduates apply the lessons learned here for service in our armed forces and every other professional field. All Citadel graduates share a universal commitment to lead and serve, and our bonds to one another are unlike any other alumni. Your acceptance is the first step towards wearing this ring of gold and joining the long gray line of proud graduates who took the road less traveled. Welcome to the Citadel. I hope to meet you and your family soon as you start your journey. Our mighty Citadel. These words have a special meaning because they make us think about what's special about our college. And they make us think about the task at hand and what we can do to preserve what is special about this college, while also taking the steps necessary to make sure that this college and what it stands for will stand forever. We are a mighty Citadel with a sacred mission to educate and develop principal leaders for all walks of life. The values-based education we offer here is more important now than it ever has been. To stand forever, we must preserve the traditions that make the Citadel such a special place. The traditions of service, challenge, resilience, and camaraderie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Citadel's Cadet Academic Webinar Series. Today we will be exploring the following Citadel majors: Computer Science, Cyber Operations, Mathematics, and Physics. My name is Seamus Gillen. I'm a member of the Citadel's class of 1996, and I serve as Associate Director of Admissions. I would also like to introduce my counterpart, Josh Simon, class of 2008. Josh will be assisting on the technical side of tonight's event. Since our founding in 1842, the mission of the Citadel has been to forge and deliver principal leaders into the world. Whether as commissioned officers in our 4 service branches or as civilian leaders in business or education, Citadel graduates carry on the cadet mantra of honor, duty, and respect. Tonight, we will meet 3 Citadel cadets representing each specific majors. Our cadets have unique stories to tell. We will learn why they chose the Citadel, which specific majors, most of these folks have multiple majors, attracted them to the Citadel, as well as how these academic experiences have cumulatively prepared them and continue to prepare them to reach their professional goals. The program will conclude with faculty-led Zoom breakout meetings. We will be posting these breakout room links in the comments section at the right side of your screen at the conclusion of this segment. In addition, our viewers will receive both a text and an email 30 minutes after the program ends. That will bring you to a quick and easy form that will take about 15 seconds to complete. And once you complete that, we'll be mailing off class of 2025 pennants to your homes. These were exclusively designed for these events. The first panelist of the evening is Cadet Matthew Dietrich, a senior double major in both physics and mathematics from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Cadet Dietrich serves as the regimental academic officer and was drawn to the Citadel because of our outstanding academic and leadership opportunities. Cadet Dietrich is active with the following campus organizations: the Math Club, the Physics Club. He was also selected to join the Citadel's prestigious honors program. Cadet Dietrich has participated in two separate research experiences. Let's take a look here. He is, in fact, they were funded by the National Science Foundation. These competitive REU summer research programs are specifically for undergraduates studying science, engineering, or mathematics. On the academic front, Cadet Dietrich has achieved both Dean's List and Gold Stars and is part of the Citadel's Sure Research Scholars Program. As the regimental academic officer, Cadet Dietrich is responsible for the academic performance of the Citadel's 2,300-strong Corps of Cadets. Upon graduation, Cadet Dietrich plans to pursue a PhD in physics. Congratulations on your notable successes, Cadet Dietrich. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Glad to have you. Our next panelist is Cadet Noah Wells. He's a junior triple major. Yes, I said that. A triple major in mathematics, cyber operations, and computer science. Cadet Wells hails from Columbia, South Carolina, and serves as the Palmetto Battery Recruiting Sergeant. Cadet Wells chose the Citadel because he wanted a more structured college experience, and the Citadel aligned with his personal values. Cadet Wells is a member of the following Citadel clubs: the Cyber Team, the Cyber Club, the Association of Computing Machinery, and he also serves as a cadet ambassador for the college. Cadet Wells has academically achieved both Dean's List and Gold Stars. In addition, he serves as the Computer Science Department's research assistant, as well as a Mathematics Department research assistant. He also completed a highly selective National Security Agency internship in the summer of 2020. Upon graduation, Cadet Wells aims to gain both employment with the Department of Defense in a cyber-related field, as well as complete graduate school. Cadet Wells, congratulations on your achievements thus far. You have one more to go, but welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Glad to have you. And lastly, we have Cadet Shiloh Smiles, a junior double major in both computer science and cyber operations who hails from Marietta, Georgia. Cadet Smiles serves as the 4th Battalion Recruiting NCO, and she chose the Citadel because she wanted a uniquely challenging school with a strong focus on leadership. Cadet Smiles is a member of the following clubs: the Citadel's Cyber Club, where she serves as the vice president, the Citadel's Cyber Team lead, and she's a member of the Association of Computing Machinery, where she serves as club secretary. On the academic front, Cadet Smiles has received Gold Stars each and every semester on campus and has enjoyed a professional internship with Intelligence Consulting Enterprise Solutions, Inc. Cadet Smiles also has had an academic paper published in the Citadel's Gold Star Journal. Upon graduation, Cadet Smiles will begin work as a Department of Defense contractor for the U.S. Navy and will work directly in cybersecurity. Cadet Smiles, congratulations on your success. You have one more year as well. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Excited to be here.
Glad to have you. The cadet experience is demanding. All the cadets that you've gotten to know briefly here are taking 18+ credit hour load semesters each and every semester. This is in addition to all the responsibilities they have in the Corps and with the club activities and the other things they're involved in. So on that and on behalf of the admissions office, I want to thank Cadets Dietrich, Wells, and Smiles for taking the time out of their busy schedules to be with us tonight. We're very appreciative of that. I think we begin tonight's journey where the story begins, which is obviously the freshman year, the knob year, as we call it here at the Citadel. Every Citadel graduate and upper class cadet reflects on one singular moment, which is Recognition Day. And that's, in fact, we're in days within the next Recognition Day for this current freshman class. It's the ceremonial culmination of that demanding first year, and it really is the galvanizing final piece before these cadets will move into the leadership structure that follows that freshman year of followership. So we're going to watch a video to see what this is all about now. Cadet Smiles, I'm going to start with you, especially based after this video. I'm going to ask you to share your own personal recollections of your recognition day and how that pivotal, monumental day shaped your subsequent years, now 2 years later.
Yeah, so it was actually almost exactly 2 years ago. Our recognition day was on March 27th, 2018. And it is, I mean, you saw the video just now. It is one of the toughest days of your entire life. I mean, just the amount of physical exertion and mental exertion you're going through just in the space of a few hours. Like, I've never been that tired in my life before. And at the end, like, you are tired, like your body's tired, your mind's tired, but there's a kind of energy that you don't really get anywhere else. Just, seeing everybody alongside you, seeing these people that, you've gone through so much with the past, 7 to 9 months, depending. And the coolest part is all your upperclassmen, all your cadre, which your training staff, are all there supporting you, motivating you, especially near the end. They're even helping you with the exercises. And you go on this big run at the end. And I remember personally, I was starting to like fall out. I was starting to slow down, and somebody like they grabbed my arms on their side and they would pull me, because I mean, that's just what you do for each other. You really build those bonds, and that's the last moment when you need those really strong bonds. And the bonds that you build at the Citadel are so unique, and that's really like the pinnacle of them. And you saw them doing that thing called bracing. It was a weird position at the end, and sweating and crying and all holding each other up. And really, that's like the peak of that Citadel bond that you build that sticks with you for the rest of your life.
And one of the great things with every Citadel graduate is that day and the recollections. They might have some differences in mild cases, but the reality is they're all the culmination of that shared journey as a freshman here. This is not a lone wolf school. Everyone has to lean on each other each and every day on the leadership side, on the discipline side, and very importantly on the academic side. And that's where we're going to transition now. Is the video that we watched kind of showcases the physicality and the mental toughness that's required here at the Citadel. That's grown and born from the months of training and challenge. But there is a transition that happens academically for each and every student. And for our viewers watching tonight, I want to make sure you understand how that works, to hear from these cadets and to understand the resources that are pivotal to ensuring you have what you need to be academically successful. I'm going to start with Cadet Dietrich. You serve as the regimental academic officer overseeing the academic performance of nearly 2,300 cadets. That's a heck of a responsibility and certainly a big burden to bear. I'm going to get into your personal habits, because I think it's always interesting to study people who are in these types of roles, to understand what you personally did to transition from the high school level of study to what it takes to be successful here at the Citadel. You're a physics and math double major. So what academic strategies you've employed to be successful in both those domains?
The biggest thing for both my majors has to be my time management. When I was in high school, it was very easy for me just to get by. But I remember my NOB year having an academic officer tell me to pick up a planner, write every assignment down in that, and just every night open that planner, look to see what I have. And that habit has stuck with me all 4 years at the Citadel. And it's a great habit to have, because balancing that double major isn't always easy, but remembering what I have to do each night and getting things done earlier, working ahead to see what I have, it helps, and it creates more free time than I think I would have with any given week.
That's very sound advice, and this is one of the pivotal roles that these academic officers play. And each company and all the folks who arrive at the Citadel will be assigned to a company. Each company has an academic officer. That's a senior selected candidate who goes through rank board interviews. They pick this role, and a key responsibility that they have is ensuring that freshmen are connected with the resources that are available to them. Evening study period is the language of learning here at the Citadel in the evening hours. Sunday through Thursday, these are the mandatory institutional hours that are set aside for study time. No one's making anyone study, but the culture of the college is that everyone makes good on this time. But the resources also are fully available to all the cadets. We have support that comes in the manner of tutors. We have an academic service support center that's fully staffed with folks each and every night of evening study period to provide keen resources. And our academic officers are the shepherds that send sheep where they need to go. Those freshmen have to learn the ropes and gain that understanding, but also learn the strategies. As Cadet Dietrich mentioned, he was given a firm encouraged Order to pick up a day timer to start managing his time. And that's something that high school students traditionally don't have a very good handle on. So thank you for that answer. Cadet Wells, I'm moving to you. You're an astounding triple major here at the Citadel. In fact, you're the only one that I know of, but I'm sure there have been plenty. I was a single major here at the Citadel, and that was plenty for me. But the reality is that cadets are able to achieve great things with careful planning. Let me move here. In both computer science and mathematics, you have served as a departmental research assistant. Can you tell our audience member what an event like that is? When you're a research assistant in a department, in this case, it would be for physics and math, in computer science and mathematics. How does that play out? What do you do? What are you asked to do?
Well, it all kind of starts off where you have a lot of different teachers, and there are people, so they have their own different interests within that field. Within math, you might have people that are interested in number theory or graph theory, and other concepts in computer science they'll be interested in. And so as you kind of go along, you'll definitely figure out what you're interested in as you get more specific and more in-depth into the major. And so hopefully, or even as you're trying to learn, you'll kind of get attached to a teacher, or you can reach out to them, asking them, what can you do? What can I do to, get on some research? It kind of takes them a little bit of initiative, but they're always looking for help. And then you just get to be on some really interesting cutting edge research. For me, I'm on computer science research with, it's actually a joint research project. I'm actually doing it with a fellow panelist, Shiloh Smiles, and we're doing a joint research project with the University of South Carolina and their computer science program, and we're working over Zoom with some cutting edge Internet of Things research, which is really interesting. And then for math, I'm just doing some basic number theory research with a peer of mine, and we meet weekly. We try to get some work done in the week. It's pretty free. We get to do our own research. There's not a lot of, it's not super hard and fast. We just trying to figure out something. We're just trying to figure out something new, and now that we're getting there, and we're going to write about it soon. So it's pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things I think that speaks to is the 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio we have at the Citadel. Small, intense classroom environments are the way of life here. And in both those majors that we're referencing here that you have research in, one of the things I think that's fair to say is relationships with faculty are a keen part of success here. You build these relationships to both explore the degree path and explore potential professional opportunities beyond, and also to further cultivate those connections that are really important. Faculty play an integral role in cadets' success and outcomes all 4 years. You're going to hear from career services a little bit longer, and that's another element that plays a keen role in this. But I think it's very fair to say that our faculty play an extraordinarily important role in the outcomes that the cadets have. Cadet Smiles, I'm going to move to you. I understand you experienced a professional internship with an outfit known as the Intelligence Consulting Enterprise Solutions, Inc., this particular outfit. And can you share with our audience a little bit about your experience and how it refined your knowledge of software development as a whole?
Yeah, it was actually a really cool opportunity, especially how I got it. Actually, the people who were working there, who were leading up the team I was a part of, they're actually Citadel graduates, and they specifically came back to the Citadel to hire from the Citadel because they knew that the caliber of the program was producing people of the standard they needed for the project. I ended up working. It was actually kind of funny because I was supposed to be doing a cybersecurity internship. I didn't realize it was software dev until I got there, but it was still really cool. I got to work with a lot of standard tools and standard processes in the industry. I learned a lot about how, the real world works, how to use the agile SURE model essentially to, organize your work. I never realized that having a systematic way to organize your work and keep everything flowing was such an important part of, software development as a job. I actually had to take a class to learn how to stay organized in that specific way. So that was really unique. And then learning all these new tools, a lot of it was kind of self-led. They kind of dumped me into it, says, hey, okay, we need this to be done. Go do your thing. I taught myself Django. I taught myself a lot of new tools. And even though I might not be doing software development for my career, I learned a lot of skills about, the type of environment you're going to be in real world tech jobs and the kind of tools you're going to get to use. So that was really unique, and it was a really great opportunity.
It sounds like you leaned a little bit on knob year to deal with some of the challenges and stress, and certainly, any software development enterprise has timelines that are very, very sensitive, and so the team environment is critical. Communicating clearly is critical, but managing yourself and there's a balance of both formulaic building as well as creativity moments where you can step in and introduce something that might benefit the team. So that's a great experience to share with our audience, that this stuff is commonplace in the sense that it's an integral part of cultivating your skill set so that you're highly employable. And that's our mission here at the Citadel, and you'll learn more about that with Career Services. Let's see here. I'm going to dive into the next question. Cadet Dietrich, you participated in, this is what I mentioned earlier, 2 separate research experiences. It's called the Research Experiences for Undergraduates, REU, and they're funded directly by the National Science Foundation. Can you explain the relevance of these experiences with your chosen majors of physics and mathematics?
Definitely. So my first one was after my sophomore year. I worked at Georgia Tech for 10 weeks. And there I actually helped design a chamber to cool atoms to near absolute zero temperatures. And so there's definitely a lot of physics in that, but I was thrown into a lot of models using differential equations where I really had to pull in my math background. So that was really the first place I experienced that, I could benefit from having that double major. And in my second REU, it was virtual due to COVID, but I worked with University of California, Santa Barbara. And there I had a internship where I was working on creating my own electronic circuitry boards that I also had to program for students at the college to use. So again, part of the mathematics major is having that programming experience, and I would not have known how to do that if I didn't have that double major.
I think that's important to note for our viewing audience tonight, is that it's a commonplace thing, is that when I was a cadet here at the Citadel, life was different. Most everybody was a singular major, but now the diversification of skill sets, the differentiation of skills that are interrelatable, that on paper might not seem to be, but you can leverage the great benefit of having multiple majors that equate to a certain specific niche professional outcome. Physics, mathematics, there's a lot of shared math requirements in both environments. So did you pick one and then choose the second major? Is that how it played out for you?
Yes, I originally came in as a physics major, and then when I realized how much math I was already taking and how much I needed it, it just seemed like obvious I should get this math major.
So this might be something for our physics majors out there who have not given thought to that. Understand you're going to be taking a lot of advanced math courses as a physics major here at the Citadel. So there's incentive, and one of the things the Citadel doesn't penalize our students on is how many courses you take. If there's an instance of a triple major in this panelist, he's not paying any more for the credit hours required to meet that requirement than the student who's taking one singular major. So there's no penalty whatsoever for being ambitious academically here at the Citadel. I think that's very, very important also to note. Cadet Wells, I'm going to move to you. I'm going to ask you to enunciate for our audience the key distinctions between being a computer science major and being a computer engineering major. There might be some confusion out there with our audience. Can you share a little the distinction there?
I'll try my best. Obviously, I'm not a computer engineering major, so I don't know about the super specifics. But in general, the computer science is going to deal more with the kind of conceptual things going on there, more so with the software. A lot of coding. You probably heard of some common programming languages like Java or Python. You're working a lot in that. You're going to be working with a lot how computers talk to each other, and especially how they kind of operate when they're working. But I suppose the computer engineering is going to be a lot more hardware based. It's going to pull a lot from electrical engineering, which is another major that is represented pretty well in our school here. So you're going to be working a lot with circuits, and you're going to be working a lot with like the kind of very basic structure of a computer and how it gets to the point that we can do all that coding and complex ideas there, I think.
I think you nailed it. That's a well described distinction there. All of our cadets are multidisciplinary, and this is one of the great things that Josh and I get to enjoy with these webinars is we get to meet you. And I know several of you because of your services to the admissions office, but on the ambassadorial front. But being multidisciplinary is unique. and in that 2 of you are double majors and one's a triple major. I'm going to open the floor to all of our cadets tonight and ask, and we've covered some of this. So if you've not been asked this question or not had a chance to respond, maybe you should jump in first. Why did each of you choose to personally unite the majors together that you have? I'm going to start there.
I guess I'll go first. So I'm a computer science cyber operations major, and I'll probably end up being a math minor anyways, because it's one more class. But so I came in as a computer science major with a cybersecurity minor, because when I matriculated, there was no cyber operations major. It just got launched this year. I actually came in as a computer science and Intel double major. And I did that because I wanted to combine, I wanted to get a bit more security in there. And the intelligence and security studies major has a focus on security. It's just not technical. And then we worked together and we actually launched the cyber operations major. So I ended up exchanging my intelligence major for a cyber operations major. I could have kept that triple major, but I didn't really have that much of an interest in the Intel side. So I switched to that new cyber operations major. And it works really, really well. He talked a little before about a lot of the majors fitting really well together. Computer science, cyber operations have a ton of overlap. They're only about 8 classes of difference between the 2 of them. So they are they work very well together. So that was my story for that.
Any other cadets on that, on uniting those majors?
Yeah, I can go next on that. For me, I came in as a physics major. I knew that I wanted to work in physics. And you kind of touched on this earlier. The faculty, especially in these majors, have a big impact. And there's a faculty member who sat me down, started noticing that I was taking math classes on my own just for fun electives. And he sat me down and said, you should really look into this because you're already getting so close to having this second major. And you're going to be using so much math in a career in physics that there's no point not to at least look into this and see how hard it would be. And it's only proven to be fruitful for me. I've used all the math that I've learned in some way in physics, in some realm, somehow.
Technical majors have big payoffs. I mean, an interesting thing is our current commandant, Citadel class of 89, Captain Peluso, he's a retired Navy SEAL, spent his entire operational career in the SEAL teams. He's a math major. They're highly sought after in technical areas, and the military is no different. They like technical majors. So there's a lot of end goal outcomes for something like mathematics that might not be immediately important on paper. Finance is another key area that relies heavily on mathematicians. So there's a lot of interesting things that you'll have an opportunity to explore here as a cadet. This is the keen part of the exposure component, is that our cadets are continually meeting faculty and interesting folks, professionals that have had different career outcomes. So this is where you can leverage those opportunities. Cadet Smiles, you have a DoD scholarship known as the Cyber Corps Scholarship via the National Science Foundation that's positioning you to serve the U.S. Navy as a civilian contractor. Can you share with our audience how you landed that scholarship?
Yeah, so we actually just got approved for that scholarship this year. This is our first year. So I'm the first cohort of recipients for that scholarship. So I was actually a part of the team that did the work to get us approved for it. So that was really exciting. Our first year, so the whole purpose of the scholarship is to give people that are minoring or majoring in cybersecurity a contract. So they pay for your full tuition, and then you get a stipend and professional development money. And in return, you work for the DoD as a civilian when you graduate doing cybersecurity. So every year, two computer science or cyber operations majors get picked, 2 Intel majors with a cybersecurity minor, and 1 CrimJ major with a cybersecurity minor. Now that is flexible, but the 5 students is how many get selected every year. I got picked for it because I'd done a lot of work to bring it in. I have pretty good grades. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of extracurriculars in the computer science department, and I had really big passion for cybersecurity. I'd been on the cyber team. I'm the lead of it this year, so that's how I got picked for it. The other people on it, once again, the top students in their majors, very interested, have a lot of drive, and want to work for the government when they graduate. And so that's kind of the idea. The big thing about it, though, to keep in mind, if that's something that interests you, is that it is only a 2-year scholarship. So that would be something you would get your junior and senior years.
Outstanding. And when you say you've worked pretty hard academically, you've achieved gold stars every semester you've been here. Is that accurate to state?
Yeah, I've only gotten one B, but
Okay, one B in your entire cadet career, and shame on you for that B, by the
I
way.
know.
A 3.7 is what's required to earn gold stars one semester, and she's done it every single semester. So kudos to that hard work. That's outstanding. Again, continue the hard work, and certainly you're a very fitting recipient of that particular scholarship. But I wanted to make that aware to our audience that there's a lot of avenues, not only to employment, but to seeking funding. While you're here at the Citadel, the ROTC scholarships are another component because they're looking for these types of majors big time. Cadet Dietrich, you're an active member of both the physics and mathematics clubs here. Can you share with our audience what you're learning and practicing in these major specific clubs?
Yes. So both of these clubs, of course, we will have fun math problems and physics problems that we get to practice. And they talk about, things going on currently in the field of mathematics and physics, which is always interesting to hear and talk about with your fellow math and physics majors. But probably the greatest things about those clubs is it's that ability to build camaraderie and start working on your professional career in that field. For example, in the physics club, we meet maybe once a month, but every professor comes there as well, and they start talking about things going on in the field and opportunities. That's where I heard about those research experience for undergraduates funded by the National Science Foundation that I was able to get. It was from that club. And with the math club as well, similar ideas. They talk about summer opportunities that cadets can have to build their resume and really dive into the learning in both of those fields. And I would tell any cadet who's in those majors to join and be active in those clubs. It can only benefit you. And it's nice as well because at the end of the day, you're meeting with the other majors, building that friendship that's going to last you probably for the rest of your life.
That's sound advice. Again, mentorship and also growing your professional connections. And this starts with cadets and faculty. So there's a keen passion at this place, and you'll discern that everyone has an interest in seeing you succeed if you work hard, if you're proactive in your future. You get rewarded. Charleston's the great reward for our cadets to go out and enjoy free time. Everything is a reward and meritocracy on that effort. So that drives the culture around here. I've got one great panelist question that I'm going to launch to everyone that dives into, and I think very, very fondly on the friendships that I retained with my favorite professors here. I was an English major and have an MBA, also a master's in business here from the Citadel, but I have great friendships with faculty. I'm going to share or ask this question specifically about the departmental faculty relationships that have shaped your professional goals, your internships, and your employment preparations. Can you give short anecdotes about what those experiences have meant to you in your cadet career so far?
Yeah, I can. I have a pretty good one. So I've had a pretty interesting history with the academic departments. I was with the Air Force for about 2 years, but I had to drop the opportunity that they gave me because of COVID, a lot of other extenuating circumstances. So I was kind of left a little bit high and dry. So I was getting my school paid for, but now I'm not at this moment in time. At the time. So almost as soon as I lost that opportunity, my department head, Dr. Bannock, he reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, you're a great cadet. You have good grades. You should apply for this scholarship and this scholarship." And so as soon as I lost that one opportunity, a new, better opportunity came up for me. And it just goes to show that the faculty really does care about you. There's not like a single professor in the computer science department or math department that I can't really go to if I need help with academics, and or even extracurriculars activities. They've always proven to me that they care about me and that they're not just giving me work, or they're not just there just to get a job. They're here because they want to help. Indeed.
Passionate faculty rule the place. I mean, I think that's one of the great elements that recruits these types of faculty is they see our 12-to-1 student faculty ratio. They understand the dynamics that are inherent culturally to the college, that there is a relationship in the classroom each and every day. And what happens in the classroom then transcends into lifelong friendships and relationships. Any of the other cadets on this before we move on?
Yeah, sorry, you go ahead, Dietrich.
I was just going to say, for me, one of the greatest, mentorships I've had, Dr. Yost, who I'm still working with right now, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do after leaving the Citadel. I was thinking about military, but he introduced me to the idea of grad school, which was a really new concept for me as a new knob at the Citadel. And he's mentored me throughout my entire 4 years here, now helping me be prepared for grad school, helping me with the application process, helping me prepare myself for that next journey and where I wanted to go.
Outstanding. Shiloh?
Yeah, something really cool that specifically helped with you know, kind of my career path. My knob year, I actually got picked up as a research assistant, just doing some like really basic like data analysis for my senior mentor at the time, and Dr. Joshi, who does a lot of database work for the computer science department. And then everybody else in the project graduated, and I ended up inheriting it completely to my own. And it deals with a buzzword of machine learning. And actually, when I was applying for internships my sophomore year, I put that I was experiencing machine learning with TensorFlow and Keras and stuff like that. And I got 5 internship offers purely based on the fact that I had experience with machine learning. And that's an opportunity I wouldn't have gotten without Dr. Joshi and without that opportunity at the Citadel. She has a really specific grant for this research that gives her a lot of leeway in being able to get really exciting and do really unique things. And like, that's very Citadel specific. I would not have got that if I hadn't came here. And I mean, literally, like, they called me and said, we want you because of your experience with machine learning and TensorFlow. So I would never have gotten that opportunity otherwise. It's actually how I got the one that I'm going to be doing this summer.
I think one of the things that this enunciates between the 3 cadets that we've heard from is that we position ourselves for opportunity, and the Citadel does a lot to meet us halfway. Between the alumni network, which is extraordinary here at the Citadel, the professional opportunities that we afford our students, one key element that is a keen part of the lifestyle, we're going to move to this part of the conversation, is career services. Career services work with our cadets for all 4 years, and we have a really dynamic leader in the lead chair there in career services. So we're going to meet her right now.
There's never a day where I'm not excited about educating students on opportunities. I'm Paige Tisdale. I'm director of the Citadel Career Center. So I think because I really enjoy what I do, I hope to empower students to be able to find that, because a lot of people don't find it right out. It's not something that you just often fall into, right? Sometimes your path is a little windy. And I'm lucky that I have found it, and so I want to empower students to do the same thing, to find something they're passionate about. You know, I think young people have a lot of options. Obviously, coming to the Citadel is a very tough choice, and life at the Citadel is not easy. And so if you're choosing to come here, I think you're already buying in from day one that, I'm going to work really, really hard for the end goal. Not just the ring and not just to graduate, but partnering with us, that professional end goal. And so it's a very personal thing to me. Sometimes I get a little bit of pushback of, hey, you can't reach everybody. And I guess my response to that is, why not? To me, that's the reason that a career center exists. And so I grew up understanding and really loving the Citadel and knowing what it was all about, and really our mission to educate principal leaders. I believe in that, and I believe what we're doing here. And what I would say is that the employers, they buy into. So I'm really, really passionate about getting students connected early, planting the seed, looping back around sophomore year, junior year, so they're exploring, preparing, and engaging all along. So I'm passionate about it because if students start early, it really helps them get connected to career outcomes the day they walk across the stage.
We have with us Alyssa Clendenning, who's the Career Education Coordinator in Career Services. She works for Paige, and she'll briefly tell you a little bit about the program and certainly their excitement to see you in the fall.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. So as my coworker, Paige Tisdale, said, career planning at the Citadel starts freshman year. We in the Career Center have the opportunity to go into a Leaders 101 class, which is a required class for all freshmen. We have the opportunity to go into every single one of those classes and help freshmen start with a career plan. In the Career Center, we have a mantra of explore, prepare, and engage. So we want to help freshmen do that the very first day that they are on campus. Explore options, looking at their major, talking to people, networking, engaging, building that resume, building your interview skills. So we are a unique campus in that we have the opportunity to talk to freshmen every single year, every single freshman year, the very first year that they are there. On top of that, students are required to attend leadership training programs. The Career Center has partnered with the Commandant's Department. So not only are we having that touch point freshman year, but we are able to talk to them freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year over a variety of career planning tips so that when your student crosses that stage, they are prepared and they are gainfully employed. So
thank you, Alyssa. And one of the things that I just want to remark about your entire staff over there is they're dynamic. This really is a proactive, deeply engaged group. They wrestle and capture the lightning out there, which is the passion of our alumni, working alumni, professionals. And there is a really, really deep love for this college. Everyone who wears this ring loves this place, and they give back. And career services is one of the ways that we connect resources for these cadets to leverage and experience. So one of the things that I think has been one of the benchmarks that we've had is that Division I athletes at the Citadel graduate at the same rate as non-athletes, and the employment rate side is within 3 months of graduation, it's typically been better than 90% that are professionally employed. That's an astounding metric. And again, it speaks to the hard work that career services put in, but also, as you've heard from our 3 cadet panelists tonight, these cadets work hard each and every day to prepare them for these opportunities. So this is the wonderful synergy that this opportunity has. Alyssa, thank you so much for your time with us tonight. We're appreciative of what you do for the cadets on a daily basis.
Absolutely. It is so rewarding. And you're absolutely right. Citadel alumni want to come back to campus to hire Citadel students. They have been in those shoes. They know that the principled leader, the time management, the dedication that those students are learning. So yes, absolutely. We have employers and alumni alike that are trying to get back on campus every semester to recruit those students.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Alyssa. We appreciate it, and we look forward to sending you these students in the fall. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you. We're going to cover some housekeeping tips here now at the tail end of the program. We want to make sure we stay on a timely basis. We have faculty. We're hoping they're still in their Zoom rooms. We're going to move you to those locations. If you have any difficulty landing in those rooms, stay on board and make note in the comments section, and we'll do our best to get you where you need to be. But we're posting those links now in the comments section. And we're going to move on there. Also, remember that we're going to be emailing and texting you that reminder to get that form completed so we can accurately deliver your pennants. Also, for all of you who have not yet had the opportunity to visit Charleston and most importantly, the Citadel, please visit prenob.com. We are here for you 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. The Citadel's admissions office and welcome center is welcoming families. Obviously, we are adhering to social distancing, and all those families who come, we ask you to bring the nuclear family only. But we would also ask you to be masked up. But again, we are accommodating visitors coming down for spring break. Charleston's an amazing city that you need to see as well, because this is where our cadets plug in. But at this point, we want to conclude this segment. The cadet panelists, I want to thank all of our cadet panelists. Again, they've been amazing. I'm going to ask our cadet panelists if they would please to move on to their respective Zoom rooms. I'm going to move over to the math room. Hopefully, I'll meet some of the future math aspirants. But we have, again, thank you for all of your time tonight. We thank all of our viewers for their time. And we're excited to meet each and every one of you in the fall. Please make your way to the Zoom links to the right of your screen. And again, if you have any issue, please let us know in the comment section. And Josh and myself will work to make sure we get you rectified. Thanks, and go Bulldogs.